Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Adiraiju, and welcome back to another round of playing Star Trek Online. Guess what? Today we will be playing once again as Captain Reubens, or rather Admiral Reubens, and his ship. To replace the Troy, which was lost back in the 23rd century, the USS Troy-A, very nice little retrofitted Excelsior class that's being slowly fitted with temporal agent weaponry and engines and shields and deflectors and pretty much everything else. It's not quite all finished yet, but it's definitely finished enough to do this person versus environment the mirror invasion. Terran ships from the other side of the mirror have launched an attack against Vothel Station. Join forces with other captains to push them out of our universe. This isn't too hard. Right now, what's going on is there's a, I'm not sure exactly what you'd call it, but if you do enough of this particular person versus environment queue, you'll get to be able to contribute a certain amount of personal tokens and get a nice little prize as soon as it's done.
Our forces have repelled a Terran scout force, but I believe a full-scale invasion from the Mirror Universe is imminent.
Oh yeah.
We cannot allow them to take control of Vothel Station.
Oh no.
The Mirror forces will open rifts from their universe. Close these rifts to keep their ships out. Science vessels can do this faster.
Good for them.
The station's power systems were damaged in the initial assault. If you divert power from the secondary relays, we can channel it into our systems and bring defenses back online. Cruisers will complete this task more quickly.
We've got one of those.
The more power you divert, the more quickly we can make our repairs. We are preparing an anti-tachyon pulse to close the rifts and send the ships back to their own universe. But it will take time to bring it online. During the invasion, you will need to protect the station from attack.
Swell. Yep, the Mirror Universe is up to their old tricks again. For those of you who aren't... Ooh, we got a Krenim Imperial Dreadnought on our side working this one. In case you don't know, this is famous because in the episode that... Transdimensional Rifts opening. Here we go. In the episode that introduced that particular vessel, there was only one of them, and it was known as Red Foreman's ship because the same guy who played Red Foreman in that 70s show was responsible for creating that particular ship. So nowadays it's known as the ship that will put its foot in your ass. Well, right now, we'll just allow ourselves to... Got you. At the moment, what we'll allow ourselves to do is take out these temporal rifts and increase the defenses on Vothel Station, which can be done by... Guess I'll just close the rift here and... Oh, come on. Problem is, you can't close these rifts while some jerk is shooting at you. So let's take them down. We've got a combination of 23rd century and temporal agent tech on this particular ship. So we're going to use it to the best of our ability to bring down those suckers from the Mirror Universe. For those of you who are a little confused, at the end of Deep Space Nine, the Mirror Universe was pretty much, well, the Terran Empire of the Mirror Universe was pretty much nothing anymore, and all it was left was a resistance against the much larger and more powerful Klingon-Cardassian alliance. Well, the Klingon-Cardassian alliance eventually fell to the humans of the Mirror Universe, who promptly created a new Terran Empire, which is now terrorizing the Mirror Universe, same as the old one. But even worse, now the Terran Empire is attempting to expand into our universe. So we're gonna have to do something about that. Like blow up their ships. We'll break their little ships. Kaboom, kaboom, boomity boom. I said boom, 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 ba boom. Get an engineering team down there, or we'll go boom. A Terran cruiser, huh? Not for long. Let's get one of them in one of these. Terran escort. Destroying these ships is easy. The real problem is the fact that, well, most of the time, there's a lot of them, and they move fast enough so that by the time you've successfully wiped a whole bunch of them out, there's even more of them, and they are attempting to initiate a power transfer here. And once you initiate the power transfer, it'll start sending power to Vothel Station, which will then allow it to heal itself and put its defenses online more quickly. Zounds! More ships, more weapons, more annoyances. Come on, you. The frigates are really... well, these ships work pretty much the same as your standard Starfleet vessels. The frigates are relatively small and easy to take out. The escorts are a pain in the neck because they try to use powerful... because they have high offensive weaponry, as opposed to the defensive weaponry. Of course, everything is offensive in the Mirror Universe. So, I don't mean the people in the Mirror Universe are overly sensitive. I mean that the people of the Mirror Universe just tend to, well, can you say you've offended somebody if what you've done is pretty much wiped out their civilization? Decisions, decisions. Come on, you. Science vessels, by the way, are aggravating because they use all sorts of nasty little tricks to take you on. Now, Vothel Station has a limited amount of HP. Whoa! It sent a shockwave that propelled them back. But technically, Vothel Station can't be destroyed. You can't technically lose this person versus environment thing. What will happen, however, is that you will lose a significant amount of the potential points and rewards you could have gotten. So it'll be annoying. Come on, you. There's the end of that. We'll help out the kick-your-ass ship right now. The kick-your-ass ship was actually a very, very rare drop ship that was only available for a limited time. I never got one because, well, I don't have the bank account of a Midas. So, oh well. And there goes that rift. They'll just keep opening more and more of them until the starbase eventually the starbase just gets enough power to prepare the anti-tachyon rift that'll send the ships back to the Mirror Universe. There's a little timer in the upper right corner. It's got 5 minutes and 41 seconds remaining. Now, after a certain point, I'm not sure if it's just because we've caused so much damage or because we wipe out all of the wormholes, but after you do enough damage, and if you do particularly well at wiping out the Terran ships, sometimes the rifts will stop appearing. Sometimes they won't stop appearing, and you'll have to take them down until there's just none of them left. But one by one, you can take down an infinite number of ships. That's not important. But if you take down enough of the rifts, that'll be enough to end the struggle against them for a temporary time until at least the starbase defensive system finally gets to prepare the anti-tachyon pulse that'll send the mirror ships back to their own universe. Well, if you didn't hear that, what Obasek said was that the station's spinal plasma lands. Ooh, cool. Strike from the record. Coolio. I believe the temporal vessels yield anti-proton damage, but there's something else that they do that you might not... That they do a surprisingly low amount of anti-proton damage. What they do, however, do is a surprisingly high amount of getting your ship down they go. Let's close that rift up before anybody else can come through. Down it goes. Take an item. Engine battery. Alright then.
Firing station plasma battery. 3, 2, 1.
Ooh. The station's plasma lance is the biggest, baddest weapon that it has. I don't really need those. It does a shit ton of damage to anything it hits. It'll wipe out something's shields, or it'll wipe out something's or it'll wipe out a ship entirely. if their shields are down far enough.
3, 2, 1.
Looks like it took... Uh-oh. Nobody's over there. There's a frigate. A number of frigates. Have to do something about all them frigates. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. Oh, no, you don't. I'll set up a Tychon's rift right behind you, and that'll annoy you enough to cause some damage.
3, 2, 1.
Whoa! Thank you very much, Plasma Lance. That took out a good chunk of their health. Okay. Come on, frigates. Fire! As you can see, I still have those 23rd century torpedoes just because I like how they look. And I also have the 23rd century phasers equipped on the front of my ship and on the rear as well. The rainbow ones are the temporal ones, and I think they look cool, so... Come on. At least the frigates simply can't stand up to our kind of firepower. Looks like the Tigwonk. Tigwonk? I'll call him the Tigwonk. And Tigger there is just a number on that mirror ship. Oh, hello. Oh, they just took care of that too. Any more Mirror Universe vessels around here? No? That's good. Because, boy, you are getting aha! Forward! Increase power to shields. Get that. A spread of weaponry. Boom. Looks like the Oronsu will take care of that particular wormhole. I think. Yeah, there it goes. Uh-oh. Hold on. That guy is in some trouble simply because... Oh crap, it's a Galaxy-class cruiser. Even 40 years after they debuted, those ships are dangerous. So we'll just... Of course, the Excelsior class is still dangerous too, and it's been over 100 years since they debuted. Actually, one last bit of trivia. The day that I'm recording this is the 50th anniversary of Star Trek's release. The very first episode, I believe it was The Cage, that's it. The Cage, or was it The Man Trap? Anyways, this is what's being celebrated as the 50th anniversary of Star Trek on this very day that I'm recording this. So, yay! Inventory full. Well, you too. Come on, please. So, what are we gonna do now? The Excelsior class, by the way, first debuted in Star Trek III: The Search for Spock, where it played a bigger, shinier version of the USS Enterprise. That...
Firing anti-tachyon pulse. Defense relays are offline.
kind of made an ass of itself.
It's working. The Terran ships are being forced back to their own universe.
What Terran ships? I thought we wiped them all out.
Massive energy spike firing station. They're opening more rifts. 3. Mirror 2 is not coming through. 1.
Ooh! Looks like the Mirror Dreadnought really, Now, this is the, climax and the real final battle of this whole thing.
Is emerging from a rift at 6 o'clock.
What happens is that I think 5 or 6 rifts open up, and a number of Terran ships come through each one of them. The flagship appears to have the ability to create a local rift to return to its dimension. Close all the rifts to trap it here. Well, he's correct. The flagship does have that ability, and, oh great, it's a science vessel. Those will really aggravate me. We'll have to do something about it. Kaboom! Now let's close that rift.
Firing station plasma lance in 3, 2, 1.
Anyway. Oh, it's a Nausicaan ship that was helping us out. What you want to do is close all these rifts, and then, looks like he's already got this one. What you're going to want to do is close all the rifts and then engage the enemy dreadnought.
In 3, 2,
You can tell what the Dreadnought is because it gets its own name, and it's the one that the station itself is firing at because it's so damn dangerous. There goes the frigate. We'll take down these frigates too, just to cause as much damage as we possibly can. Kadoo!
Firing station plasma lands in 3, 2, 1. The Dreadnought is escaping through a rift.
Yep, that happens when you do enough damage to the Dreadnought, and it's why you want to take out all the rifts. Once all the rifts are destroyed, they won't be able to open any more up. Once that happens... Sir, the Dreadnought has Sir, the Dreadnought has appeared at 12 o'clock, although there are no portals open. I believe it is trapped in our universe. Excellent. Wherever the hell it is. Looks like it's over there. Forward, march! The ISS Stadi. These things are well armed and dangerous. We'll hit it with an Aceton beam, and a Tychon's Rift, and a number of proton torpedoes, and a number of phaser fire, and some temporal weapons, and some chronoton torpedoes, and look at that. That was brutal. That's the ship's way of saying, screw you!
The Dreadnought has been destroyed, and the area is free of transdimensional portals. Thank you. Without your help, Valvel Station would have been lost.
Darn tootin' it would have. Let's take that temporal mark package, and I'll see you next time around. And farewell. Whee!